Welcome to the Zaleski Sports Show. I'm Rachel Zaleski, your host, and today we are going to be talking about Spencer Columbus football, Columbus soccer, high school volleyball, MLB playoffs, that's Major League Baseball playoffs, and the NFL, National Football League. So we have a special guest today, Rich Holt. He's going to be here to give us his insight on football high school refereing. And thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks, Rich.
Of course, joining us also is Jason Zaleski, our sports expert. So go ahead, Jason. Let me know, this past week, the Spencer Columbus Rockets, let me know what you think, because they totally beat the Altoona Railroaders in the rain. Yes, we were both there. But before you tell me that, let's just take a look at it.
Okay.
Welcome to the Zaleski Sports Show Highlight House, sponsored by Nuts Deep Bar and Grill. Nuts Deep Bar and Grill, located on 908 South Central Avenue, Marshfield's #1 bar. Let's send it down to Jason for post-game thoughts with Coach Bauer.
Yeah, thanks, Rachel. Jason here with the Zaleski Sports Show, visiting with Coach Ben Bauer. Coach, 54-0 on the game today. Your first effort this season as head coach. How do you grade yourself?
Oh man, the thing that Coach Gorsel always says is that he's got a great crew around him, and tonight just proved that. I mean, honestly, head coach might be the loneliest job on our sideline because you don't really get to talk to a lot of people. You just kind of are. At least tonight, I was more or less a game manager. Coach Hildebrandt, Coach Buss calling the plays tonight. I mean, they're the ones doing the dirty work, and it really showed tonight. I mean, everybody all around, great effort. So,
I think you said it there, Coach. Doing the dirty work. The field, as I look out here, dirty, no doubt about it. And when there's dirty work to be done, Hunter Lupke is the guy you call. We talked about it pregame, and that was what happened today. 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, I tell you what. I mean, for the field conditions. I mean, the thing is, both teams got to play on it, but if there's anything that maybe went our way tonight is, Hunter sure knew how to keep his feet. I mean, he was still able to cut pretty well and find that open space. And once he turned the corner, there wasn't too much that anybody could do about that. But had a great game, and our line opened some holes for him, and guys blocking downfield, and everything was all around great team game tonight.
Coming up next week, you're at Glenwood City. That's a non-conference game. Is that a game for the freshmen and sophomores to play? What's the plan next week?
Well, no, I mean, it's it's actually a unique opportunity for us. It's kind of an early week to start the playoffs. We're seeing a team that we don't ever see, a team that, as far as I know, Spencer or Columbus have never played. So you get to go into a week where you haven't seen anyone, kind of like what's similar in the playoffs where you see a team for the first time. So it's a real opportunity for us to warm ourselves up for the playoffs by watching film a little bit differently, because you're trying to recognize some guys that you haven't seen before and everything. So, it's a normal week for us, and I mean, we got to finish the week strong, go into the playoffs, and it's a cool opportunity to be able to play somebody and take a nice long bus ride and go have some fun. So
there you go. All right, well, Coach, thanks for stopping and spending time with us. We look forward to seeing you guys in the playoffs. Wish you the best of luck. We will talk to our Highlight House player of the game coming up next. Yes, we are here with Zaleski Sports Show Highlight House player of the game, Hunter Lupke. Hunter, another, I guess what we'd call one of your performances tonight, right? 7 touchdowns. You came into the game averaging 3, come up with 7 tonight. Just tell us about how it was out there.
I mean, linemen were blocking fantastic tonight. I mean, there'd be times where I wouldn't even have anybody touching me, or if I did, it would be I had to make one move and then I was free for the rest. So they pick up 2, 3, 4 guys, one play, and I mean, that's pretty awesome if you ask me.
Yeah, tonight was senior night. So as you look back now over your career with Spencer Columbus, all the other seniors you played with, all the other guys that are come after you, what were your thoughts going through the game as this last one of this kind?
Well, this is our last regular season home game that I'm going to be in the SC football uniform, so I wanted to make it count. I know the whole team wanted to make it count for Columbus homecoming too, so we just come out ready to play every day.
All right, and you've got North Dakota State on the horizon. Congratulations again with that. That's a great accomplishment. What other accomplishments do you need to get this year, though, before next year's football season starts?
Well, the team's made goals for long playoff run, so we want to stick to that. We want to get better every day and achieve our goals.
All right, good. Well, Hunter, we look forward to seeing you and the rest of the Rockets in the playoffs. We think you're going to have a lot of success this year, so we look forward to that. Rachel, back to you.
That was our sports expert, Jason Zaleski. Thank you to our sponsor, Nuts Deep Bar and Grill. Nuts Deep Bar and Grill, located at 908 South Central Avenue, Marshfield's #1 bar. This is the Zaleski Sports Show Highlight House.
I'm Hunter Lipke, and I'm in the house.
Well, Rich, we saw there what we've seen all year from the Spencer Columbus Rockets, Hunter Lupke, man among boys. You say that a lot. This time, though, I think it is the case.
Yes, he just at this level of football with his size and his speed, he's basically unstoppable.
Yeah, and we've seen that all year. We plan on seeing that into the playoffs. Rachel, they play all the way out in Glenwood City coming up on Friday the 13th. We'll hear more about Friday the 13th as we go through our schedules.
Sounds good. So, Jason, the Columbus boys soccer team, they are on fire. So tell me what you think, or your predictions, I guess, for this team for the rest of this season.
Well, they've got one regular season game left. That's against Amherst on Friday the 13th, as previously mentioned. That game is at Greasy Park at 4:30. So stop on down, cheer on our hometown Columbus soccer team, our Columbus Dons. They play, like I said, against Amherst. That's for the conference championship. And then playoffs start after that. So, Rich, sometimes in sports, it's okay to win a conference championship, though you'd rather win a state championship.
Well, absolutely. The thing about conference championships is you're not always challenged like you are at the next level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they will be challenged. They've got a fairly simple conference. Amherst and Regis have been their biggest competitors, and they are 0-2-1 against those teams. So wow. They'll have to step it up on Friday to win the conference, and then obviously in the playoffs.
Good to know. Yeah. So the number 2 ranked Stratford Tiger girls volleyball team, I would say nearly annihilated the Wisconsin Valley Lutheran girls team 3-0. So let's go ahead and just take a look at how they did.
To the Zaleski Sports Show Highlight House, sponsored today by Nuts Deep Bar and Grill. Nuts Deep Bar and Grill, located at 908 South Central Avenue, Marshfield's #1 bar. Let's go down to Jason to hear about the number 2 ranked Stratford Tigers' big night against Wisconsin Valley Lutheran.
Thank you, Rachel. Yes, you're right. Big night again for Stratford tonight as they win in straight games, 25-0, 25-10, 25-4. And we are visiting now with Stratford Tiger head coach Brooke Kafka. Brooke, I guess let's just start with the season as a whole. How do you account for the great success? You're number 2 in the state. Just talk about how you got here.
We always called ourselves a young team, and finally this year we're not a young team anymore. We're juniors and seniors, and they spend a lot of time in their off season and summer and playing club, and they've been working and jiving together for several years now, and so we're kind of reaching our peak now.
I mentioned the scores when we total them all up, 75-14. What do you coach out of that? What's there to learn after a match like this?
Even on the bench before, I was saying to my assistant coaches, I said, it was so great to see them, how they were supporting each other. We had girls playing in spots that they haven't played before, girls who aren't normally on the court, out on the court, and they were just each other's biggest fans. And I think that's something huge to take away from this, because at any point those girls have to step up, and it was great to see their support from their other teammates.
In that first game, 25-0, Olympia served 24 straight points. What was it like to watch that?
Her serve has been pretty lethal this year, so it was really great to see her confidence really boost up with that and just keep going. And of course, we were just cheering away for her, because how cool for her.
All right. Well, thanks, Coach, for spending time with us. We will have our Highlight House Player of the Game coming up right now. All right, we are here with Zaleski Sports Show Highlight House Player of the Game, Olympia Garrigan. Olympia, let's just start with that first game. It was 1-0. You got the serve 24 straight. Are you tired?
Yeah, I was getting very exhausted serving continuous for sure. But I came back there every single time ready to do what I always do and serve tough like I want to. So
Stratford Tigers ranked number 2 on the year. We've got playoffs coming up. Does that ranking mean anything when the playoffs start?
Honestly, ranking doesn't mean anything. We have to come in with the mindset of that we aren't better than everyone else and that we do deserve it. But working hard is really huge when playoffs comes, even regular season. But ranking really doesn't matter. In the end, it comes down to who's the better team.
Right. Okay. In a somewhat easy game, I say relatively easy game like this, what do you take from that, and then how will practice impact how you get ready for the playoffs?
Well, we kind of take these games as almost practice because we get everyone in the game, and it's so awesome because as a whole we have such a strong team. So in practice, our team is so, we are all competitors and we want to make ourselves better.
Excellent. All right. Well, excellent game from all the Tigers tonight. Rachel, back to you.
That was our sports expert, Jason Zaleski. Thank you to our sponsor, Nuts Deep Bar and Grill. Nuts Deep Bar and Grill, located at 908 South Central Avenue, Marshfield's #1 bar. This is the Zaleski Sports Show Highlight House.
I'm in the house.
All right, yeah. Number 2, Stratford Tigers certainly got it going on right now. They finish up with a couple matches yet this week, and then playoffs start a week from today. So they are looking forward to the playoffs, and so are we. Make sure to stay tuned to Zaleski Sports Show to get all the playoff coverage and schedule. Rachel?
True, and you can find us on our website at ZaleskiSportsShow.com.
All right.
So moving on to regional sports, we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about Major League Baseball. So Jason, tell us about playoffs. They're coming up.
Well, playoffs are happening right now.
They're right now.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, one team has already advanced. The Astros took care of the Red Sox, and some other things are happening right now. The Yankees tied 2-2 with the Cleveland Indians. A little bit of a surprise there. Rachel, I don't have any favorites in the playoffs. We'll focus more when World Series action comes. I will turn to Rich, though, and ask, who do you expect to see in the World Series?
I actually am not a Cubs fan, but I kind of think the Cubs, with their experience and the talent level, to come out of the National League, and I would have taken Cleveland, even though they are 2-2. I still think Cleveland's the team to beat, be a repeat matchup of the World Series.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, more to come, Rachel. As the weeks progress, we'll dial in. We'll get a laser focus once the World Series starts.
Perfect. So now I'm going to jump in a little bit more to our national sports. Jason, we're approaching week 6 in the NFL. Tell me, which teams do you have your eye on? Who's doing great? Who could improve?
Sure. Okay. Well, let's start with our updated standings, which are here on the famous Zaleski Sports Show magnetic board. We'll go through the first place teams real quick: Bills, Steelers, Jaguars, who just beat the Steelers 30-9.
Wow.
Jaguars off the hinges there. Chiefs remain in first place out in the West. In the NFC, East, Eagles, North, Packers, South, Panthers, and the West, the Seahawks just beat the Rams, so they take up sole possession of first place and all that. So who do I have my eye on? Well, Rich, we had another classic battle between the Cowboys and the Packers. Last week's show, Adam Sievert was our Packers guest expert and correctly identified that it would come down to who had the ball last. And I knew, I'm sure you knew, when Rodgers and crew took over with 1:20 left, they were going to go down and score.
Yeah, some questionable play calling from Dallas. I mean, they're running the ball unstoppable, and to why they throw the ball on the, I believe, second down. And forced or allowed Green Bay not to use their timeout and save it for the offense. As a Packer fan, you had a good feeling. I mean, only needed 3 points, so get into field goal range in the NFL is not very difficult.
Right.
Touchdown was a bonus.
Yeah, and Packers were in field goal range quickly, and then had another 40 seconds to work towards that touchdown. Threw to Devontae Adams twice. The first play broken up nicely by Jordan Lewis. Ran the exact same play the next time that they lined up, and Adams hauled that one in. Game winner with 11 seconds left. Cowboys had a interesting lateral type extravaganza, I guess we call it, Rachel. I know you enjoyed it watching that, but it was not to be for the Cowboys. Packers won, and we'll see after that. But certainly, Packers are looking good. I don't know that we have any disagreement there. Packers look good in the NFC right now. We'll see if the Seahawks can change things around. They were having trouble scoring coming into Week 6. They did beat the upstart Rams, and then the Chiefs, I think, in the AFC. Best team, probably the best team in the league, and led by your buddy, Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, he's doing great this year. Keep going, Kareem, if you're watching this. So, yeah, speaking of doing great, the Vikings did just win last night. I just want to make that note.
Yeah, good.
I can't wait to explain to you all about a big beatdown that happened in fantasy football this week, big upset.
Sure.
But we'll talk about that in a bit.
That's coming up soon. Real quick, Rachel, I will we'll mention WEAC football here real quick. Zaleski Sports Show did go down to La Crosse. We watched La Crosse beat Eau Claire 45-14. You can see highlights of that game and where we'll be next in WEAC at our website, ZaleskiSportsShow.com. Rachel, Sports 101.
Sports 101 is an interesting couple questions this week. I was really excited to know that Rich was coming on our show today, so I saved up all my referee questions for him. So thank you so much, Rich, for being here.
You've got a lot of referee questions.
I know.
Yeah. All right.
The referees are pretty amazing out there, and being unbiased and stuff. Although the last referee at that last game, when it was raining, he was kind of talking to us about our umbrellas that we had on the field.
Player safety.
Yeah, I guess. We have a Viking and a Cowboy umbrella, but whatever. So today, Rich, the question I have for you is on the field, why do the wide receivers point to the head lineman and the side judge when they're lining up?
It's a good question. Every offense has to have 7 men on the line of scrimmage pre-snap. So the ends are trained to check with the officials, and the officials have a signal, whether it's arms straight back, meaning you're not on the line of scrimmage, or a different signal that'll tell the receiver if it's loud or if it's raining or if there's crowd noise. The receiver can check with the official, and he'll know that he's on the line of scrimmage or not, depending on the formation.
Okay.
Sure. You need to have a minimum of 7. You can have more. In that case, though, when you have more, only the furthest folks on that line of scrimmage are eligible receivers then. So that's kind of some other things are happening.
Correct. If it's called covering the tight end in the NFL, it's an automatic penalty. In high school, the tight end in that case, whoever the second guy is, would not be eligible to go for a pass.
No.
So you can have that. There are a lot of teams that use that formation, but usually it's run only.
Gotcha. Yeah, because during the games I've been picking up, I do a lot of the filming on the side of the field, and I hear the refs always, they're saying, you're on, you're off, or no, you're on.
Yeah.
Or
yep.
whatever.
You had it right.
And so I'm just like, you're on what? So, and I assumed it was line of scrimmage, but I just didn't know if, like, maybe their toe could be on, but maybe right before the line. So I didn't know how strict all that was.
So something interesting for people to do when you watch football games starting on Friday or into the college Saturday and the pro Sunday, watch. You'll see those receivers point out there. That's what they're doing. Yeah. You got another humdinger, though, I think, coming up here for Sports 101.
I know,
right?
I do. Okay, so, Rich, also, for the WIAA, how do they decide or choose the officials for those playoff games?
Well, there's basically Wade Lebecki is the director of the football end of things. And each crew, there's 180 crews that are eligible every year for playoffs for Wisconsin. Every Friday night that you work a game, you get a score from a coach on a scale of 6. And so what happens is at the end of the year, of course, you get an average score. After you get a certain amount of years in experience, the scores start to count. And then the WIA kind of chooses crews that they'll go and view and watch. And you have to pass the coach's test first, and then you have to pass the WIA's visual test. And so that's how you get assigned the games. And the crews, majority of crews will get 1 game, but the upper level crews will get assigned 2 games a season. Level 1, 2, 3, 4, and then obviously state is another deal.
Great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. All merit-based. So their performance during the season not only counts for that game, counts for other things that they will be invited and allowed to do later on in the playoffs.
Have you been invited to the playoffs?
I actually did a state game in 2013.
Oh, nice.
And our crew, this will be our 5th straight state semifinal assignment. So,
yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Congratulations.
wonderful.
That's good work and a reward well deserved.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, moving on to fantasy football.
You've been waiting all show for this.
So there's a team called A Team With No Name, and they totally had no name this week.
Well, he was a team with no loss coming in.
Correct. He was, what, 4-0?
Yeah.
And this week that was broken by my team.
Shake
Shake and Bake. We beat him 119-77, and now I'm 3-2, and he is now
4-1.
4-1.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go through the standings as we put the graphic up on the screen here. We'll start in the East. If you're first, you're last. If you're not first, you're last. 3-2. Team Megahertz 2 and 3, Big Ballers, Tiger Snooze all 2 and 3. So there's a log jam in the East for second, third, and fourth place. Marshfield Avengers, our fantasy football expert, Malachi David, 0 and 5. Come on, Malachi, what are you doing?
Get with the program.
In the West, Made Me Drew, 4 and 1. Team Fun with Wine, 4 and 1. A team has one loss, 4 and 1. Shake and Bake, 3 and 2, and Joe Buck Sucks, our Green Bay Packers expert, is 1 and 4. So we've got some things to sort out here, Rachel, as we take this fantasy football season forward. And I'm sure that they will get sorted out. So bye weeks are happening now, so there's a lot of jostling around with lineups, and things will be unsettled with those bye weeks and other things, injuries happening. Late breaking news to the Zaleski Sports Show: the Arizona Cardinals have traded with the New Orleans Saints for Adrian Peterson. So Peterson is sent west, and we'll see if that shakes things up in our football league as well.
Well, thank you everyone for watching the Zaleski Sports Show. Thank you, Rich, for coming on the show
thanks,
today.
Pleasure.
The Zaleski Sports Show, you can find us on Facebook at Zaleski Sports Show. You can also find us on Twitter at Zaleski Sports. Make sure that you all have a great rest of your week, and take care.
Go Sports!